In today's video, I'm going to share with you the most important thing that you need to know about relationships. My name is Carolyn Yakopich, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Now, I felt that it was fitting today to speak into the theme of relationships. Today was the solar eclipse and the new moon in Libra, and Libra represents relationships. Now, what is important when we look at relationships is there equal energy exchange? Are you giving more than you are receiving? Are you receiving more than you are giving? Are you dimming your light, repressing your voice and your gifts and your talents to fit in to a relationship that is unsupportive of your full potential? Are you compromising? And yes, there is always this give and take in a relationship where we do meet the other person. Yet when it comes to us standing in our fullness, in our wholeness, as a download of the divine, as a sacred leader, can you say that you are fully supported in the relationships that are around you in your life? And furthermore, your relating moves beyond people in your life. So we are asked this question when it comes to first our human contact. We reflect on our relationships romantically, with our family, with our friends, with our clients, with our students, with our teachers. And we start to see where there are stories being played out. And as we can observe these stories that are disempowering, it's an invitation for us to take inventory and to really reflect inward and to be the observer and the witness and to see the part that we play in this story that enables the disempowerment. Now, when we are in a state of disempowerment, we are giving our power away. Now, when we look at the aspects of masculine and feminine energies within us, the masculine is active, it gives. The feminine is receptive, it receives. And so when we are out of balance in either of these, we first have the masculine, which becomes the tyrant that attacks. And when we move into that state of imbalance in the feminine within us, we become the victim, the martyr, the helpless damsel in distress, right? So we have these archetypes, and we are looking to find that union within the self, so that all of the relationships that show up in our life support our wholeness and that unification. So to break this down in simple terms, when we can elevate into the divine feminine, being intuitive, receptive, spontaneous, in flow, creative, and when we can step into and rise into our divine masculine within, the active, aligned action, the single pointed meditative focus, the structure, the foundation, the protection. When we can move into these embodiments and allow there to be harmony between both within the self, finding flow within the structure that we have created, allowing our hearts to lead and allowing there to be a logical understanding of our hearts leading the way. Now, there is this beautiful fluidity and movement that happens within our beings as we embody these principles. And when we can move into that state of right relationship within ourself, these energies merge, they dance, and they move together. And then we are fully birthing the divine child. So the wounded inner child that stores and acts out all these programs from our past, the one that is needing a mom or a dad that is codependent, that may have experienced abandonment, may have experienced rejection or abuse or whatever the trauma is, this inner child that is yearning to be seen is completely embraced when we become the parental figures to ourself. When we remember our divinity and we step into that way of being. Now, the masculine is the blueprint for the divine, the pattern. And the feminine is the context, the spirit. And when we bring these together within the self, that divine union births this new childlike nature, this excitement for life. The child in wonder who lives in the present moment, that sees beauty in all things, feels the miracles in the ordinary, is in awe with everything around. And it is from this state of being where we are unified and we nurture ourselves that we are able to give from a full cup. So we fill our cup first, and then we give with all our heart. And so the most important thing that you need to know about relationships is that the relationship with your own consciousness is the most vital, the most important relationship to tend to. And once we tend to the self and we bring ourselves into a state of coherence and balance and harmony within and presence, everything in the universe begins to rearrange and align with our inner frequency, and we attract empowered relationships, opportunities, our habits, our behaviors, our emotions, everything starts to shift. We start to blossom into this new being. And this is part of us coming back into our wholeness, remembering the soul fragments into one embodiment. And the access point is through our hearts. And so the invitation is to keep opening your heart. Keep seeing the others through the lens of love. And to observe and notice that when the triggers arise, we are receiving information as a reflection of something that is within our own consciousness to be cleared and released. And when we find that neutral mind, once the trigger has dissolved, to re-witness and re-observe the situation through that lens of love, to know that the person in front of us also has a story. They also have their own challenges, their own struggles, their own life lessons, their soul lessons, and they are on their own journey. And each person that comes into our field is here as a teacher, as a reflection. And so this is the time to lead with your heart, to return to your presence, and to be the example of the unification of spirit and matter, the feminine and the masculine, and the divine child within. And thank you so much for joining me today in this video. If you found this helpful, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Message me if you have any questions. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content like this. And I will be back with more information, updates, meditations soon.